We have people. Hi, people. I'm going to ask everybody a favor. Please put your name or like a little howdy do in the chat just so I know who's here in case there are any people I haven't worked with before. Thank you, thank you. We're going to get started in a couple minutes. If you're new to my YouTubes, hi T, hi. I think that's TJ. I'm assuming that TO is TJ. Yeah, if you're new to the YouTube channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Absolutely nothing has changed between this and Instagram/Facebook. Basically, same format, same thing. We're just on a different platform. It's going to be great. As I said in the comments, all you need are a pair of light hand weights or cans. I'm using 2 soup cans. And then your body, and that's it. That's all you need. We'll get started at like 5:32 to give people time to join if there are more people joining. Yeah, that's about it. Let me know. Thank you for the clarification, DJ. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if anybody has any injuries. If you haven't done these workouts before, I can offer modifications if I know specifically what hurts or what bothers you. But otherwise, we'll just be doing some fun strength supersets, full body supersets. It's going to be fantastic. Fantastic. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to announce. I'll say this again at the end in case people join later, but just FYI, next week and the week following, so for the next 2 Wednesdays, live stream time is going to change, and it's going to be a morning live stream just because life has intervened and I have plans in the evenings both of the following Wednesdays. So I think I'm going to do it at 9:30 Pacific time in the morning on the next 2 Wednesdays. And then after that, it'll go back to normal. All right. People can continue to trickle in. If you're just joining, please introduce yourselves and say hi so I know who's here. I see we have one more person who joined. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's get started with a little warm-up. We'll start with some arm circles. 10 back, 10 forward. You guys have been coming here, well, not here. If you were taking my classes on the previous platforms, same warm-up as usual. Doesn't change. What has changed is that I got some new throw pillows for my couch, so they're more exciting. More color, just to brighten it up, even though I'm the only one looking at it. Makes my quarantine life a little bit more interesting, you know? Oh my goodness, that's my doorbell. All right, this is very unorthodox. Pause the live stream. I'll be right back so that the package that just arrived doesn't get stolen, because that happens on a very regular basis here. I will return in 2 minutes. Take a pause. All right. Success. My apologies. Package was not stolen. Okay. Next up, nice wide stance. Reaching forward to touch the floor, and then we are rotating, hand up to the ceiling, alternating sides, and we're going for 5 on each side. Then, while we're in this nice wide stance, coming down to the side in a little lateral lunge, keep the weight back over the heels. It's okay if the upper body's coming forward. You just don't want the knee to come forward as well. Alternating sides. Get a nice stretch on your adductor, inside of the leg. Again, 5 on each side. If you get a little pop in the hips, that is normal and that is okay. Unless it hurts, it should not hurt. All right, when you get to 5, feet are coming together. We're gonna do some leg swings. So you can hang on to something for balance if you need to. Otherwise, just let them fly. 10 on each side. All right, knee pulls. Grabbing the knee, pulling in towards the chest as far as you can. Again, this is all dependent on your personal mobility. No two bodies are the same. So if you can't pull all the way in towards the chest, that is absolutely fine. Just pull as much as you can. We're going for 8 on each side. All right, hamstring stretch. Crossing one leg over the other, keeping both legs straight, and then you're reaching down towards the toes. Again, because of mobility differences body to body, you might not be able to touch the floor, but you're going to be reaching down as far as you can. If you can't touch the floor, grab onto your ankles or your shins, whatever place is comfortable to touch, and pull your upper body in so you get a really solid stretch in the back leg. You want to feel it down the back of the leg that's behind. Let the neck relax, let the head hang. We're gonna be here for a couple more seconds and then switch sides. All right, same thing on the other side. Cross other leg over. Sorry, I'm gonna fall over here. Cross the other leg over, reaching down towards the toes. Again, reach only as far as you can. If you can't touch the floor, that is okay. I am relatively short, so I have less distance to travel, but for taller folks, it might be a little bit harder to get down that low. So just grab up onto whatever part of the leg that you can reach, and then help pull yourself down using the leg as a brace. All right, now we're gonna get a little bit of a body temperature hike and do some inchworms. So we'll just do 5 of these. It's basically exactly what it sounds like. You're gonna pretend to be a little inchworm. You're gonna bend over, try to keep the legs straight, touch the floor, and then you're walking the hands out until you get to a plank position. And then you're walking the hands back until you come up to standing, and do 4 more of those. 5 altogether. Walk out, try to keep the legs straight the entire time. Again, if you're on the taller side and you need to bend the knees a little bit to touch the ground, that is a-okay. This is 4. And I think everybody who's here has taken my classes before, but for those who are new, I let everybody count for themselves. I'll give you the number of reps to do, but unless it's a timed exercise, I encourage you to count your own reps because I don't want you to be forced to go at the same speed that I am going, because not everybody is the same. Okay. Supersets, again, as I said in the comments, you'll just need 2 light hand weights, or I'm using 2 soup cans for just a couple of the exercises, 2 of the exercises. We're starting with the lower body, so let me run through the first superset. We're going to be doing fire hydrants and donkey kicks to warm up the glutes. So good to get some glute activation going before we do anything else to make sure that it's supporting the lower back. So for our fire hydrants, you're going to be in this quadruped position. So hands and knees, hands right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. And it's called a fire hydrant because you're just going to pretend that you're a little dog and you're lifting your leg to pee on an imaginary fire hydrant. So lifting out to the side, lifting out to the side. So things to be careful of as you're doing this exercise. Don't let your lower back drop, so no back arch. You want to keep the tailbone tucked under so that your core is engaged. You can see the difference in my lower back. There's no sway in that lower back. And then maintain that as you lift the leg out to the side. The height at which your leg ends up is irrelevant. You are going however high that you have the mobility to move. You don't have to get super, super high. If you want to make this more difficult, add an extension in the leg before you come back down, extend, come back down. We're doing 15 on each side, and then we're going straight into donkey kicks, which is straight up, flexed foot, bent through the knee, pressing back. And again, trying not to let the lower back sag, so keeping the tailbone tucked under. As you press, you should feel that smack in the glute. The first one, the fire hydrant, is getting your outer glutes. It's going to be more of a hip mobility. So we'll do 15 on each side of fire hydrants, 20 on each side of the donkey kicks, and let's go. Let's get to it. Again, everybody count for yourselves. You are not beholden to the speed at which I am moving. All right. Whenever you're ready, start lifting. So quiet. So quiet. I hope you all have music playing. Because I don't. Make sure the head doesn't drop. And when you get to 15 on both sides, you're going into your donkey kicks. Knee is not touching the ground in between each kick. And we're going for 20. Make sure you're kicking high enough to feel a squeeze in the glute. If you're not feeling a squeeze, kick higher. Higher, higher, higher. Really press that heel up towards the ceiling. When you get to 20, take a break. Quick note on these. Sorry if I know the lighting is not ideal. Sorry if it's really dark when I'm down on the hands and knees position. If your wrists are bothering you, being on that flexed hand position for so long, make a fist and do like 8 fists and put your weight on your knuckles instead. And that'll help ease the pressure on the wrists a bit. Or you can stretch them out in between by turning your hands inside and then pressing them into the ground. Okay, we've got a couple more seconds to rest, and then we're heading into round 2. This one is not a super stressful exercise, but you should feel like the muscles are working and glutes are being activated. All right, round 2. Either side can start. I'm going to start on the right this time. 15 fire hydrants, and then going into those 20 donkey kicks. I feel like I should make idle chit chat to keep it entertaining. It was another great day here in San Francisco. It's foggy every day. That's San Francisco summer. Fog and wind. And that's about it. Your hips should be feeling nice and mobile at this point. They've been doing a lot of flexing and extending, lateral movement. They should be quite warm. When you get to 20, take a break. I'm going to open my window. It's getting toasty. These exercises, I know that there's a trend on the fitness influencer front to like build glutes and work the glutes and all that. And aside from the trend factor of it all, there is some validity to that trend. So working the glutes is really, really, really beneficial for your lower back. So they're pretty much, aside from your core, the main, let's go into our last round, main foundation for lower back safety and support. And so if you find yourself having a lot of lower back pain, keeping your glutes mobile and strong very often helps with that. And I think they tend to get neglected sometimes, or just written off as like, oh, they'll be working while I do these other things. But if you don't activate them or warm them up, sometimes they don't kick in as much as they should. So it's always a good idea to activate your glutes before you do a workout. Because we're activating, but we're also strengthening right now. I lost count. That feels like 15. And then moving on to your donkey kicks, 20 on each side when you're done with your fire hydrants. All right. I don't know about you, but I'm coming up on my last reps. On my last side. That core engaged. All right, there's 20 for me. When you get to 20, take a break, and we'll move on to our second leg exercise, which is gonna be up on the feet. So we just worked the outside of the hips, that lateral movement, and we're gonna be working it a little bit more. Also grab water whenever you need it, by the way. You don't have to wait for an official break to drink. Keep yourself hydrated. So we're going to be doing lateral lunges and then a narrow to wide squat. So I'll offer some levels for the lateral lunges. Level 1, you're going to start wide and treat it more of a lateral squat than a lunge. So starting wide, toes pointing straight ahead, make sure they're not pointing out towards the corners of the room. And then just like we did in our warm-up, you're coming down over the front of the leg, but if you're looking from the side, you can see that I'm pressing back through the hips, and the knee is staying behind the toes as I come down, and then pressing up through towards the heel. Not necessarily completely through the heel, but definitely on the back part of the foot, and then coming down to the same side. So the goal, ultimately, is to get down parallel so that your leg is, or your thigh is parallel to the ground, but come down as low as your mobility allows. So we'll do 12 on one side, 12 on the other side. If you want to take it up to level 2, then you'll be stepping into that lunge. So starting from a narrow stance, you're stepping out, coming down, coming back to standing. Step out, come down, back to standing. Sort of a halfway in between. If you want to gradually ramp yourself up, you can step out, take a pause, find your balance, then come down, up, take a pause, and back to center. So sort of like a half and half of both. I'm going to be doing the full step out and back to center, so you can follow along with me, or you can stay wide the whole time and come down. I challenge you to push your mobility a little bit. Generally, when you get to the point where you feel comfortable, you can probably go a little bit lower. If you're just going to the point where it feels comfortable, you're not going to feel like there's a lot of muscle work going on. It's going to feel pretty like meh, getting a heart rate, but not much else is happening. So push yourself down a little bit lower. And then our superset is going to be narrow to wide squats, which is exactly what it sounds like. You're giving me a narrow squat, step out nice and wide, wide squat, narrow squat, wide squat. So we're doing 10 of those. And you can step out either leg. You can alternate sides, but we're doing 10 narrow plus wide combined. Does that make sense? 10 combos of the two. All right, let's start with our lateral lunge or lateral squat, depending on what you're doing. We're going 12 on each side. Start whenever you're ready. Remember to push that mobility a little bit. Challenge yourself. I almost guarantee that you will beat your own expectations of how low you can get and still come back up. I should say, if you have knee issues, definitely just go for the wide stance through the whole thing and don't step out, because the deceleration and acceleration of stepping into and out of this are probably not going to feel great on your knees. So just stay planted the whole time. At your own pace. We are not worried about keeping the upper body upright on this one. So if it means you can get lower, bring the chest to the knee. Really challenge yourself. Now for me personally, my non-dominant side is definitely less mobile than my dominant side. So my left leg, the one that I'm working now, I find far more challenging to get low than on the right side. I really have to push it. That is normal, but you do want to push it a little bit. Try to get it even with the other leg. Remember, this is not a race. These are not about speed. This is about form and accuracy. All right, when you get to your 12, on the other side, you're immediately going into 10 narrow to wide combos. Toes pointing straight ahead on both of these. So you're going to end up doing 20 squats total, FYI. 10 combos. When you get to your 10, take a break. And break. Grab water again whenever you need it. My heart's pounding. I hope yours is too. How are we doing for heart rate? Nice. All right. In the 130s. Not too shabby. Getting that cardiovascular health. Is everybody doing okay? It's so quiet over there. It's so very, very quiet. I hope you're surviving and thriving. Got a little bit more rest time, and then we're heading back into those lateral lunges. So the first set should have given you an idea. I can't talk. The first set should have given you an idea of what feels good on your body. So maybe the first set was too easy, which tells you make the second set harder for yourself. If this first set was too hard, dial it back a little. Give yourself some breathing room. All right. Round 2. I know my head is cut off here, but you don't really need to see my head, so it's okay. 12 on each side. Now you understand why we did all those fire hydrants. We're warming up that lateral movement for the hip to make sure that we get a little bit more strength and range of motion in this movement than we might otherwise have gotten. When you get to 12, switch sides. Here. It is weird to have it so quiet. I put together a piece on GarageBand, but I'm saving it for my cardio class because that class definitely depends more on having a rhythm to move to. Whereas this one, it's just nice to have background noise. But I need to find more royalty-free music. Because my own music is generally way too slow and melancholy to inspire any kind of workout energy. Make sure the straight leg as you come down is staying totally straight, almost locked out in the knee. There should be no bend whatsoever. When you get to 12, moving into those narrow to wide squats. And on these, again, if your knees bother you, only come down as far as you comfortably can. You don't have to be like ass to grass on these. No matter what the CrossFit people say, don't listen to anybody who does CrossFit. I stopped counting. Darn it all. I was doing so well up until now. That's okay. I feel like this is 9. When you get to 10, take your break. All right. Clock is running. This is all we've got for legs. So after this, we're switching to upper body. If you've got just, an inkling of energy left in your legs, let's put it into the last set because you've only got one more set to go, or one more superset. Then we've got some push-ups. Big surprise. Nobody who takes my class is surprised at that. We always do push-ups. If you're getting sick of them, I'm not sorry. Not gonna apologize. You can always opt out of doing them. There's always an opt-out clause. Okay, we're going into our last superset of laterals. Remember, either side can start. You might want to alternate which side starts, just to keep it interesting, just to keep your body guessing. You never want to get too comfortable. You always want to challenge your nervous system a little bit, challenge your equilibrium. And that way, in real life scenarios, daily activities, your body will be more adept at responding to unforeseen physical circumstances that are thrown at it. That is actually true. It's like honing your reflexes, kind of. When you get to 12, you're going to switch sides. And then when you get to 12 of this, you're going into your last 10, well, 20, if you want to look at it that way, narrow to wide squats. If on your narrow squat, you are leaning forward a little bit more than you do on your normal squats, also normal and okay. Whew. Definitely getting my heart rate up. Out of breath. All right, when you get to 10, take a well-earned rest. I don't know about you guys, but I have definitely found that going out for walks, I average like 45 minutes to an hour every day. With a mask on, your cardiovascular efficiency increases so much. Because you think about it, the amount of work your lungs have to do breathing through a mask, if you can tackle a hike or a normal walk with a mask on fairly comfortably, that you would have been able to do fairly comfortably pre-mask days, you're already have a leg up on your previous cardio fitness. So aside from the safety factor, I strongly encourage you, when you're going out for runs, you're going out for walks, unless you have asthma or like any other kind of lung issues, wear a mask, challenge yourself. It'll improve your cardio fitness in ways that you didn't previously imagine pre-quarantine. Okay, so for our first arm superset or upper body superset, we're back to our eccentric push-ups. So I know these are everybody's favorite. For those of you who have not done these before, we are doing a super slow push-up. I do these on my knees because they are really effing hard. If you have the strength to do them on your toes, more power to you, please do. Otherwise, you can do them on your knees, against a countertop, against the wall, whatever level feels right for you. But main things to think about, the neck and head should not drop. So as you're coming down into your push-up, don't let your head do like a turtleneck out in front of you. It should stay perfectly aligned with your spine. And then the second point is to keep your core engaged. So just like we did on our first exercise when we're on our hands and knees, you do not want to come down into your push-up with this like, oh gosh, it feels terrible. I don't know why anybody would do that, but with this sway back position, tuck through the core, tuck, tuck, tuck. Keep the core engaged, glutes engaged, and then you're coming down from there. So we're doing a nice, slow 3 to 4 second count on the way down, and then a regular push on the way up. So it's going to look like, don't cheat on the time either. Make sure it's that full 3, 2, 1, and then press. 3, 2, 1, and then press. Try to keep the movement smooth. So try not to jerk in like levels for each second. Really, really work on that muscle control. Elbows are going back, not out. So think 45-degree angle, sort of halfway between here and tricep. You're right out here as you're coming down. And hands should end up just about under the shoulders at the bottom of the push-up. Then we are supersetting with some chest flies. So you'll grab your cans or your light hand weights. You're going to be on your back, on the ground, feet flat, knees up. Keep the core engaged. Arms are straight up. And then you're coming all the way out to the side and then squeeze together at the top, all the way down to the side, squeeze together at the top. So for those, because the weights are so light, if you have heavier weights and you want to use them, please do. But really think about fighting against yourself as you press up to the top. So pretend like you're trying to move through mud. You can create plenty of self-resistance to increase your muscle work on those. So we'll do 10 push-ups, and then we're going to do 15 to 20 chest flies. If at 15 you feel like it's still too easy, then go for 20. All right, starting with the push-ups. Whenever you're ready, counting for yourself, and go. Try to exhale as you push up. When you get to 10, flipping right over onto the back, grab those weights, and really focus on creating resistance as you squeeze up for 15. Keep a tiny bit of bend in the elbow, just enough so that the joint is not locking out. Once again, exhale as you squeeze. All right, when you get to 15, take a little break. I will 30 seconds to rest on here. And then we're going right back into those push-ups. Oh, I just realized the screen is really, really dark when I'm down on the mat. Sorry, guys. I need to figure out better lighting. This is low-budget YouTube here. All right, coming up on round 2. And the goal with this is that your pecs and arms will be so activated from the push-ups that creating resistance in the chest flies should be intuitive and not easy, but it should be easy to access that resistance. All right, down into our second set of 10. You should be making the arms burn. These are the ultimate noodle arm creator. All right, into our chest flies once you're done with your 10 push-ups. If you want to do more than 10 push-ups, please do. But that's just about when I personally hit my max. So if you want to go for more, feels right for you, do it. Don't rush this one, by the way. If you're creating the correct amount of resistance, you will be unable to go fast because you'll be resisting the speed. When you get to 15, take a break. All right, got one more set of those. Again, grab water whenever you need it. Should be working up a solid thirst here. All right, got one more for the arms after this one, and then we'll move into core. A little bit more rest time. I've got about 15 seconds left. Also, if you folks have any feedback for me, please leave it in the comments, or you can leave it in the chat. I'm trying to do what I can with this YouTube channel with the space that I have, which is pretty much literally just this. But I also want the things that I provide to be effective. So if you have requests or constructive criticism, let me know. Okay, last round of push-ups and chest flies. When you get to your 10 or however many you're doing, chest fly time. Create that resistance. Squeeze through the mud or jelly or whatever you want to picture. Really thick water. San Francisco fog. Bread dough, sourdough, bread dough. I don't know, something with a lot of resistance. Whatever imagery works for you. When you get to 15, take a rest. Now, our first exercise is going to be down on the floor. You're going to be on your stomach. If this does not feel good for you, I will show you a modification to do up on the feet. But we're doing our YTAs, which I think everybody or most people have done at this point, if you've taken my class often. But we're essentially drawing a Y, a T, and an A with our arms. But this time, instead of doing it standing, we're doing it on our stomach. So I might need to shuffle here, because otherwise I'm going to hit my bookshelf. But basically, main things to think about: squeeze the heck out of your glutes to protect your lower back. You're lifting up through the chest as much as you can. Arms come up into a Y, out into a T, back into an A. Up into a Y, out into a T, back into an A. If you don't feel comfortable on your stomach, you're going to do these upright, lean forward, nice flat back, up into a Y, out into a T, back into an A. Now, as you're lifting up into your Y, I don't want to see this. No tense shoulders. Keep the shoulders dropped down as you complete the exercise, because you don't want these, your upper traps, which tend to be the muscle It gets really, really, really tight on desk workers, people who carry stress in their shoulders. It's all right here. So you don't want to tense that. You want to be lifting through the muscles that control your shoulder blades. Because if you think about it, lifting your arm up, you can put a hand on your shoulder blade. It's moving, it's retracting, and then going back to normal. So the muscles that should control that movement are the muscles that should be working, not these guys. These guys will compensate wherever they can. And then when we're done with that, we're coming up into some lateral shoulder raises. Tiny bit of bend in the elbows, straight arm otherwise, just up to the shoulders and back down to the sides with those light hand weights. So we're doing 12 YTAs and then 12 to 15 lateral raises, depending on how your shoulders are feeling. All right, let's get into it. If you're gonna be on your stomach, go ahead and get down on the floor. If you're doing this standing, get that nice forward lean. And we're lifting and go. I apologize if you can't see me because of the darkness on the screen. When you're done with your 12, oh yeah, it's super dark. When you're done with your 12, coming up to standing, going for those lateral shoulder raises. 12 to 15, whatever feels good. Keep the core engaged, keep the glutes engaged. All right, I just did 15 because 15 felt right. 12 was not enough, but again, to each their own. Now, I know I said drink whenever you're thirsty before, but if you're doing these exercises down on your stomach, I would actually recommend waiting to drink until we're done, because lying on your stomach and putting that much pressure on your core after taking a big swig of water potentially will not feel great. So I would just hang in there or take small sips. All right, we have a little bit more rest time, about 15 more seconds, and then we're going back into that prone position for the YTA. So same thing applies if you're down on your stomach. Try not to lift with the neck or the upper traps. Try to lift through the shoulder blades. If it's really, really, really hard, that is a very good indication that you need to loosen up your lats right here, biggest muscle in your back, and work on your shoulder mobility. And if you want recommendations for mobility exercises, write in the comments, send me a message, and I will give some to you complimentary. Okay, next round. Down on the stomach and going for 12. Keep those glutes tight. These should be hard if you're on your stomach. When you get to 12, popping up to the feet. Careful how fast you stand up. And going into our lateral raises. Make sure you're not swinging the weights. Careful muscle control through the whole exercise. And again, core should be tucked under, so no arch in the back. Little bend in the knees to keep them relaxed. However many you're doing, when you get to your last rep, take a pause. I've been using these soup cans as my weights for class for like 2 months, and these poor labels have had so much sweaty hand on them. They're slowly falling apart. All right, got one more set, and then we've got core, and then we've got cool down, and then we're done. All right, let's do it. Last one. Last one. I got a little bit of sweat going. Hopefully you do too. Down on the stomach, if you're doing these on the stomach, or standing, if you're doing them standing. All right, squeeze those glutes. When you get to 12, popping up lateral raises. Shoulders are feeling things. They're definitely feeling a certain type of way. When you get to your 12 or 15 or 50, however many you're doing, hands down, take a break, grab some of that water that you abstained from while on your stomach. Take a load off. We're going to be doing some core next. I see a new comment. Feels like trying to fly. Yes, or like the most awkward swimming you will ever do in your life. Yeah. Yep. That is precisely how it should feel. Ooh, we got some fun core, I think. This is my idea of fun. We're going to be doing some single leg V-ups. So this is just another superset. So we're doing 2 exercises back to back, 30 seconds each, rest in between. I will be keeping a 30-second timer going here, so you can just time along with me. One can or one hand weight up overhead, and you're going to be lifting to reach the toe, alternating sides. You do not have to actually reach your toe, but that's what you're aiming for. So if you have longer legs, maybe you only reach your calf, but we're alternating sides, and the goal is more to get the shoulders off the ground as much as possible rather than get the legs high. So you don't have to have a lot of hip mobility for this. You want to do most of the work through the core. Then we're supersetting that with an exercise that works the exact same muscles, which is a sit-up to punch, knees bent, sit up, punch, back down. So one hand weight in either hand, punch, back down, sit up, punch, back down. That's it. That's our core superset. 30 seconds of each. No problemo. You have a little bit more rest time. Let's take 15 more seconds because I'm feeling kind. I'm always kind. Come on. And then we'll jump into the first core superset. What's Tiana saying? I'm so mad it's not working. Yeah, but it's practice. Just think, like you're working all the muscles that would help you fly, so that when you get into a space where you actually can, you have the tools that you need to successfully get liftoff. Okay, V-ups, legs out straight, 30 seconds on the timer, and 3, 2, 1, go. Timer's running. Get those shoulders off the ground. Doesn't have to look pretty. It's not supposed to look pretty. This is work. Almost there, 5 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Knees up, Straight up into that sit-up, punch, punch. Up into that sit-up, punch, punch. Try to exhale as you sit up. Almost there, 10 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and done. Take a break. I'm timing the rest break, so don't worry about timing on your end. So I sit down here on the dark floor. Maybe it's just the angle that I'm at, but I feel like I'm just a complete silhouette right now, right? I think so. It's okay. Gives it some ambiance. All right, a couple more seconds to rest, and then we're busting into round 2. All right, get ready. Got one weight in hand. And 3, 2, 1, and go. Timer's on. Again, this exercise, I can't talk normally while I'm doing this. It's squeezing my diaphragm. This exercise is not for speed. It is for lift off the ground. So don't try to go fast. Oh, switch. 3, 2, 1, go. Sit-ups. Punch, punch. Punch, punch. My core is burning, y'all. It is burning. 10 more seconds. Oh, there's some light. Look at that. And break. I have no idea where that came from. It seriously looks like a spotlight just turned on me. That's very weird. Getting used to all this new technology, I sometimes feel like an 80-year-old grandma trying to figure this stuff out. All right. Oops, I forgot to set the timer. But we've got about 20 more seconds to rest, and then we're heading into our last round of core, and then we will cool down, and you're done. Painless. Easy peasy. I think we're hitting under an hour-ish. Yeah, just about. Just about. Okay, grab your single weight. Going into our last round of V-ups in 3, 2, 1. Timer's running. I apologize for the noises. I swear that's not gas. It is my sweaty feet squeaking on the floor. Nothing wrong with gas, though. If you have it, let it out. Last 5 seconds. Oh my goodness. 3, 2, 1. Punch, punch. Punch, punch. Last round. It's going to be the hardest. Punch, punch. Last 15 seconds of work. 10. And there's 3, 2, 1. Done. 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 That's it. That is it. You've made it. Give yourself a nice little pat on the back. Grab a sip of water, and we will start the cool down process. All right. Let everything go. So nice wide stance, and then just flop down towards the ground. Let the head relax, let the arms relax, let your back relax. Just hang out here for a couple seconds. Breathe. Let the heart rate come down a little bit as all the blood rushes to your head. And then you're gonna walk the hands over to your left ankle or shin, wherever you can easily grab. And then pull so that you're pulling your chest towards your thigh and getting a nice stretch through right side of the body and through the inside of the left leg. Do 10 more seconds here, and then we're gonna switch sides. Same thing on the other side. Walking the hands over, grab onto that ankle, pull. One side might feel tighter than the other. That's okay. It's very often the dominant side that feels a little bit more tight because we obviously use it more often. And so the muscles tend to be a little bit more tense. All right. Roll slowly up to standing. Walk those feet in towards each other. We're going to do a little quad stretch. So again, hang on to something for balance if you need it. If not, you're just grabbing the ankle and pulling, let me jump so you can see, pulling the heel in towards the bum. Try, if I can stand up straight, my goodness. Try to keep the knees even with each other, and then try to keep the tailbone tucked under so you're not way out here. Keep the core engaged. Knees even, nice little stretch through the quad. And then we're gonna switch sides. Same thing on the other side, grabbing the heel in towards the butt, keeping those knees nice and even, and tucking the pelvis under so that the core stays engaged and you're not straining your low back, which you never, ever, ever wanna do. And then letting that leg go. All right, stretching the shoulders, arm behind the elbow, pull that arm across and relax. Try not to grab right on the elbow and try to keep a little bit of bend in the arm so you don't want to lock that joint out. And then you're just stretching along the back of the shoulder here. Couple more seconds, and then we're going to switch sides. All right, other side, grabbing behind the elbow and pulling. Just a gentle stretch for the back of the shoulder. We'll get the fronts of the shoulders in a minute. 10 more seconds here. All right, for the fronts of the shoulders and the pecs, since we work them both copiously, you're gonna grab behind the back, pull back through the arms, and now it is okay to arch your back. Try not to arch through the low back, try to arch through the upper back. So you're really squeezing those shoulder blades together and puffing out the chest. So you're really, really, really stretching those pectorals, your chest muscles. And then you're gonna fold forward and let the arms come up above the head. So let the shoulders fall where they want to, and then try to feel like you're pushing your hands above your head even further, and you should feel a really solid stretch along the fronts of the shoulders. It should feel good. If it does not feel good, please don't do it. We're gonna hang out here for a couple more seconds. And then just release the arms, let them flop down. Bring the feet a little bit closer together, and then grab around the legs and kind of give your legs a little hug. Try to pull your chest in towards your thighs and feel the stretch through the hamstrings. All right, then we're gonna round the back, roll up nice and slowly, as they say, one vertebrae at a time. Oh, and we're done. That's it, folks. I appreciate you joining me, as always. Thank you for, I keep looking at the video on the screen rather than at the camera. Here, let me look at the camera. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining. I do appreciate it. Everybody who's transferred over from Facebook and Instagram, much, much appreciated. So if you weren't here at the beginning of class, the announcement I made then is that the next 2 weeks, class will be at a different time. So we're going to do 9:30 a.m. So 9:30 in the morning Pacific time for the next 2 Wednesdays because I have conflicts both of those Wednesday evenings. So we'll just switch the time, but it'll still be a live stream. It'll still be amazing. No, it'll still be fun. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you then. And if you're not there for the live stream, the video is posted on my channel for viewage at any time that's convenient for you. Yeah, that's it. That's it. As the influencers say, please like, please subscribe, hit the little bell if you want to get notifications for when I post new videos. General cadence right now is live streams on Wednesdays and then a cardio class posted on Saturday. Low impact cardio always. I can't do high impact, so it's always going to be low impact. And then I'll take any requests that anybody has. Just send them my way. All right, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, go eat some delicious dinner.